What's up, guys? I've just got to set that. Can you hear me? I think this is good. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, I think this is good. Cool. I wasn't actually set up on time. Like, I always try to be, but bro, I can't. I've been trying to get out of bed these last few mornings, and like I'll wake up at 7:30 or 8, and then like next thing I know, it's 11, and I'm like, I think it's because I've been riding more than I have in a while, and yeah, I'm just old. Can't get out of bed. Anyway, how's everyone's Friday? What are you guys up to today? I'm gonna send a big email. So we're gonna learn today. I didn't schedule this one beforehand. Usually I have them scheduled weeks before. Last week was like a day before, and today was like 9 minutes before. I just posted it up and got it scheduled, and we're gonna see if that matters. I'm gonna send an email so that anyone who gets my emails who's not doesn't actually care to get my emails will unsubscribe. Answering. Make sure I spelled that right. Here we go. All right. Anyway, let's look at the chat. Jared was the first one in here, as always. Lucky to ride BMX is one of our newer channel members with Jared. They pay monthly to get special perks to the channel, mostly just support me and everything. I really appreciate it. Beckham Harris. Oh, wait. I got to put him on the screen. Jared. Lucky. Dougster Bob. No, wait. That's me. Beckham Harris. What's up, Beckham? Beckham's always here, too. FM for 5. Antonio. Hello, Antonio. How are you doing, man? David Dennis. Hi, David. Sarah. Hey. Oh, wait. That says Jacob. Hold on. Sarah. Hey. Jacob. Devin the one. Devin, I remember you guys from last time. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing? I mean, not you guys, Devin. Because you're just one person. Like, anyway. I'm trying to finish my cereal, and I use Tupperware containers because bowls are overrated. Um, so we're just gonna jump first question just because Lucky says it. Lucky says that I ordered a new build. I'm so excited. I plan to make a trip to the indoor bike park in Ohio. Is that Ray's or someplace with a foam pit? Any vacation? It needs to be sort of vacationist, Va- vacation-ish. Ray's is in Ohio, right? That's probably one you're talking about. Yeah, in Cleveland. Hmm. I mean, I think that would be a good start for you, Lucky. I would definitely suggest Woodward. I don't know how close you are to like Woodward East, but that's probably going to be your closest if you go out to Woodward East. And sorry, I'm burping now. But yeah, Woodward would be the most vacationish. Let me see if you I don't know if you can go to East during the summer for a week as an adult camper though. But here, let me send you this. Granted, it's going to be a lot farther than Ohio, but it's closer than Woodward West for you. But let's see what you got. Well, I'm going to send the link to the facilities and you can check it out. So the way Woodward works normally is you pay to stay there for a week or however long you want. Really, it's like $1,500 a week, and yeah, $1,500 a week ish. Maybe it's 2,000 now. It's around there. But you get your food, you get everything like that, and then there's skate parks all around the place. There's all kinds of skate parks, and they have East has two indoor parks. They have Cloud 9 and Lot 8, and they both have a foam pit and a resi. So that would be like if you're just feeling absolutely crazy this week or whenever you go, then do that. But I don't know when camp starts at Woodward. You can go for weekend getaways, and then it's just for the weekend. It's probably 400 or 500 instead of 2,000. But we had a couple of our bike school members went out there. Tyler and who went with Tyler? Anyway, a couple of them went out there and rode, and we got to see the clips. And I was so hyped to see them go do that. Like, it's a good experience for sure. Jared, no. Jared says you're killing me with the new start time. Um, I see what you mean, because now is it 10 your time, Jared? It's because New Mexico's dumb and we do daylight savings. Well, and Arizona's odd and doesn't do daylight savings. So you're the same time now as California, and the live I'm doing the lives the same time as always, but my time changed in spring. Your time didn't change. So you're still I was looking at that because I'm going to be in Tucson this week, and I have a phone call, and I was trying to figure it out because he said 10, 10, which is okay, but 11's not okay. But then I was like, wait, the time zone, and I had to figure all that out. It's so stressful. I wish everything was just the same time zone. So confusing. It's so confusing. I'm sorry, Jared. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to deal with this all summer, and then when the time changes again, it'll be back on your lunch break. All right, Lucas. What's up, Lucas? How you doing, man? Lucas, I saw your post in BMX Sickness. You said that you hate your free coaster, right? Which free coaster did you have, and which cassette did you get? Lucas said he hated his free coaster, and it's interesting. Who could hate it? I hate free coasters. I hate the slack on the free coaster, and I'm very in love with the Revolution over here because it's so nice. There's no slack. There's virtually like no slack, maybe one tooth, so it's barely a crank, and that's very nice. David is going to ride his bike back to work since he hasn't ridden in a while. He's been slacking playing with RC cars. David, no slacking here. You guys, Dougster Bobbers can't slack. We're not slackers. Um, Good luck on your bike ride to work. I went to a skate park in El Paso, right? And there's this kid Rob, and Rob rides his bike everywhere. And he got there, and I was all, Rob, let's do this or whatever. And he's all, oh, I can't. My hand hurts. I'm all, why does your hand hurt? And he holds it up. He's like, I got hit by a car on my way here. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Rob, you got to be careful. And so he's like, he rides his bike everywhere, and he was riding along, and this car pulled out, hit his handlebars. So they didn't actually like hit him, but they hit his handlebars and made him crash. And then they sped off. And then this old lady pulled over, and she said, I saw everything. And then she sped off. And I was like, damn, Rob, you got to be careful, man. That's crazy. So, David, anyway, moral of the story, don't do that. Don't do what Rob did. Be careful. Devin says, thoughts on the framed Attack Pro? I don't know. Let's look at it. There's one framed bike that it's very cheap. That's what it is. Here, I'll pull it up on the screen. Hey, hold on. Uh, hey, what's up, Richard? Anyway, I'll pull it up on the screen. We can talk about it for just a minute. But there's one framed bike on the app, and it actually scored really highly. I think it's, I don't know. I want to say they're in the same category as like Mafia and Elite and things like that. Like, the value for the bike is pretty good, but what does the company actually do for the sport? You know, if you want to just buy a bike and save money, then go crazy. But if you care about BMX and you want to support BMX, there's some better options. But I don't know that for sure with framed. I have no idea who owns them. I don't know anything about them. But let me pull it up on the screen. We'll look at it. Okay. Hello. Okay, there we go. Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, we got to turn this now. So I'm in this little screen. Okay, Framed Attack Pro BMX bike on thehouse.com. Look at this, only $250. 250. Probably 250 for the black, and then yeah, 280 for the oil slick. So first thing we see here, it's got a very low standover. Very low standover. The headset here, this is unsealed. This is a pressed headset. It's not integrated. It's not the best because of that. This hollow stem is cool, but I promise it's going to break pretty quickly. Big chunky 3-piece cranks. Okay, so really, first things first, all that we really see that's bad is the headset, and they probably have double wall rims on here because that's a thing now. Look at that, yeah, that's so crazy to me. We've got double wall rims on the bike, but we've got an unsealed hub, unsealed, unsealed bottom bracket. Oh no, oh no. Okay, anyway, 25.8 pounds. That's pretty light. This is a super, super, super long chainstay. It's going to feel ridiculous compared to other brands. Like, for example, most of We the People's Complete bikes are 12.75. Colt has the longest that I've like really seen, and it's 13.6. So this is even longer than that. Kinks are about 13.2. So this is a really long chainstay. The back end's just, it's going to be hard to pull up for manuals because, like, think about, I don't know. So this is like, let's say this is the length of your chainstay, right? And this is 12.5 or 12.75. It's a lot easier to leverage this and pull it up. Whereas if this is the length of your chainstay, look at this, way longer, right? It's going to be a lot harder to leverage and to pull it up. And that's kind of what's going on here with the framed 13.75 inch chainstay. And quality wise, it's chromoly front triangle, and I'd be iffy about the chromoly, but it says the forks are full chromoly, and we'll assume that that's right and that's good. Bars. Where are bars? Am I missing bars? Do you guys see bars on here? Am I tripping? Anyway, we don't know what the bars are. They're mystery bars. A steel sprocket is pretty good because a lot of times you get a cheap aluminum sprocket and they bend pretty easily. So a steel sprocket, that's cool. I just don't understand unsealed hubs, but double wall rims. They're pin double wall rims, but that's pretty much the standard for double wall rims on a complete bike. And yeah, so honestly, for 250 bucks, it's not that bad. It's just like, I don't know. Let me figure out how to word this. When frames usually step in qualities, right? So an entry level frame is full high tensile steel with an unsealed headset, unsealed bottom bracket, right? Just like this one. And then you step up to some chromoly and you usually get an integrated headset and you get a sealed bottom bracket. And then you step up to full chromoly and you get, those things also, but you just get higher quality chromoly. And then you step up to pro level chromoly, you know what I mean? And it's like what they did here is they skipped some of the advancements and left the unsealed stuff. But then said, oh, let's throw a couple pieces of chromoly tubing in here. Yeah. It's like they really went cheap in some areas, but then beefed up other areas to make it a $500. Now for $500, this is absolutely stupid. This is bonkers, right? That is a bonkers price. 250. Okay. It's not a ripoff for 250. For 500, crazy. That, because again, Kink Whip's 500, Colt Control's 500. You can get a much better bike for 500, but at 250, it's not that bad. I'd still, I don't know, over time you're going to be upgrading it, and it's like, it's harder to upgrade. It's unsealed, right? So you've got to just be more thoughtful about that. It's kind of I don't know, it's going to be harder to upgrade. It's not, let's say you get the Kink Gap and you want to upgrade it, you have more core quality there, right? You have sealed parts, you have some aftermarket parts. So then upgrading it just becomes easier, and it's not like My uncle always told me when I had this junky car and I put subs in it, he's all, it's like putting chrome rims on a on a garbage truck. And you don't want to be doing that on this bike, right? You don't want like it's a low quality bike, so putting a bunch of upgrades on it is kind of useless because it's not a strong base quality. I hope that helps. Oh, we're gonna unshare this. Anyway, that is the framed Attack Pro BMX bike. Logan Corey says, in your opinion, what are the best budget friendly cranks of 2021 or 2022? I bent mine. Oh no. I'm gonna pull up the oh, hold on. The Rant Banging 8, or no, not Banging 8. They have a 48 spline. Rant has a 48 spline. Let me pull those up. So, yeah, okay, Banging 48. So I was off by one. Oh, they're out of stock. But they have it goes like Rant, Mission, Salt. Those brands are lower tier compared to Shadow, Sabrosa, Kink, Fit. All of those brands are up a step. So Rant is like Sabrosa, say the cheap version of the Sabrosa Rose cranks. That, something like that. And so they're just made with a little bit less care and more cheaply produced, but they're still decent quality. Like you're getting 48 spline cranks. However, they are on back order right now. So the 175 millimeter ones are in stock at A Main Cycling in Chico if you live there. But here, I'm going to send you this link if you want to check out these. I'd say these would probably be your best bet. They're only $103 and they're 48 spline, full chromoly. That's a pretty good upgrade. I spent probably 160 on my cranks. So where's your beard? It's gone. I shave it now with a one, so I just have a little bit of stubble and a couple pimples, I guess. Um, but yeah, the facial hair is gone, Brandon. Guys, that's my brother. Look how strong he is. It was his birthday on the 6th, so everyone say happy birthday, Douglas's brother. Late birthday. It's a late birthday. Okay, I'm reading through the comments right now. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. I'm just, oh my God, there's so many more comments than I remember. I thought I was way down. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I'm caught up. I'm caught up. Guys, if you put in a comment, it takes me a while to reply. It's because there's a lot of comments like above you, and I go through them one by one. You know what I mean? If you super chat, you can it'll put it all the way up at the top, and I can see it. But you guys don't have to send me money. But yeah. Thank you, Lucas, for timing out Owen. I just saw Owen stuff. Yeah, Owen, I'll get to your question when I get down there, man, but it'll probably be a while because your question's all the way at the bottom. I don't know if I'll answer your question. You put it in here 6,000 times. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll get to it when I get to it, so be patient. Anyway, free coasters, Julian. Julian says free coaster or cassette for street and park use. Generally, Julian, free coasters are mostly used with street riding. Some people ride free coasters at park. Like look up Pat Casey. He kills it, and it makes his riding so unique. But what it comes down to, man, is it's totally personal preference. If you enjoy the benefits that come with a free coaster, like not having to pedal backwards, fakie manuals are easier, fakies are easier, just a bunch of things that become easier with a free coaster, that's great. And that can kind of attribute to your style. Everyone's style is going to be different. And then what tools we have on the bike makes it even more different, makes it more different. So anyway, what I would say, dude, ride both of them. If you have a friend with a free coaster, test it out. If you have a friend with a cassette, test it out and see which one you enjoy. But there's pros and cons to each of them. You know what I mean? Free coasters, you've got slack. They're heavier. There's just different pros and cons. So you'll really have to study it and see what you like. But they can be used for both. It's hard to tire tap with a free coaster. It's easy with a cassette, but it's harder to do fakey tricks with a cassette. So damn. Owen's question was right here, right below this one. Owen says, would you recommend the Colt Control for dirt? And then Owen said, would you recommend the Colt Control for dirt? And then Owen said, would you recommend the Colt Control for dirt? And then he said, would you? Anyway, yes, like I'll pull up the app. It scored fairly decent in dirt. But that's mostly because of the geometry. Colt's bikes have the longer chainstay in the back, which makes it more stable and more controlled when you're riding dirt. 'Cause generally, you ride dirt at higher speeds, and you want to have. It's like, God, what was my analogy? Okay, it's like you're rolling down a big hill in a shopping cart, and that's going to feel scary, right? You got little wheels. It's not very comfortable. You're going down the hill in the shopping cart. You're going to die. And so that would be to me like riding dirt on a very small, snappy, responsive bike. But then think about rolling down a hill in a dump truck where it's huge and it's got big wheels and you might be bouncing around a lot. Actually, we'll say a Cadillac. Let's say a Cadillac. That's going to feel a lot more comfortable. And so to me, the analogy there is the shopping cart's a really short, responsive bike that you're riding dirt on because you're going fast. And the Cadillac is a more mellow, stable feeling bike. Anyway, I'll pull up the scores for the Colt Control. You guys are like, what the hell is he talking about? Sounded like a good analogy in my head, okay? Oh, hold on. Okay. Guys, this is the Dougster Bob app. There's probably like 300 downloads accumulatively, and I'm pretty impressed with that. Like, I didn't imagine, I couldn't guess how many people would download it, but it's good to see people are getting use out of it, I hope. If you guys have used it, has it been helpful? Like, let me know. I'm genuinely curious. But anyway, this is the app. Look, I just typed in Colt Control. Here it is. And so it scores a 5.3 in dirt, a 4.6 in street, and a 3.3 in park. So dirt is going to be your best bet. And again, it's mostly because of the geometry, right? It has a cassette, it has full chromoly frame, some chromoly forks. It's a decent bike. But yeah, dirt, it scores the highest in dirt. If we want to look at dirt bikes for you, Owen, we're going to do dirt. And we're going to do a minimum of like, let's say 6. I don't know. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I broke it. Just kidding. You gotta be on the main screen when you search. Otherwise, it's trying to search from the one search result, and that doesn't work. So all of these bikes score at least a 6 or higher in dirt. Like the Fit Trail is a pretty good one. Scores a 7.4. Haro SD has a huge chainstay, has a really, really long chainstay. I was talking about the framed attack. I think it's pretty close to, I think it's the same as the framed attack, actually, the 13.75. The whip scored very good in dirt. Anyway, these are all dirt bikes. Like, use this, Owen, and you can see like any bike you've got a question about. So instead of asking it 44 times on the live, you could have just gone to the app and you could have just put Colt Control and then saw how good it is for dirt right here, just like that, 5 seconds. But I'm happy to answer your question, man. Hey Ryan, what's up, man? How you doing, Ryan? What have you been working on? Lika has some good news. Hello, I have holidays, so I can be here next week and be here and next week probably too. Awesome. That is exciting. Yeah, Jared, it's getting nice pretty much everywhere. It was 86 degrees here yesterday, I think, or a couple days ago. It's been beautiful weather. The problem we get here is we get wind. So winter, we never really have winter, but then it turns to spring and it's like nice and then it's windy. But I'm hyped to see like more people are starting to buy bikes now. Like a lot of you guys are probably looking at it, or you guys have already bought your bikes, because the weather's starting to turn and people are going to get right into the sport soon. So that's dope. Jared says, so you still liking the Revolution? I'm loving the Revolution. I love it. Uh, Only complaint, and I think I complained about this last week, but there's a washer or a cone nut that screws in and compresses the hub. And apparently it's pretty common for that to come loose. So I was riding around trying fakey half cab slider on that bank that I did the 360 slider. And I'd go to pedal and it would skip like a half a crank, like a free coaster. And it was really annoying. And I was like, what's going on? So I Googled it and it's like, oh, tighten this. And I was so annoyed because I was like, I just bought this. This should not be happening. Had to go to Walmart. It's impossible to take my back wheel off because my chain, da 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 da. And anyway, I got it and tightened it really good, and now it's solid. But yeah, no, I absolutely love it, and that's my only minor complaint. Get some Loctite and put it on that before you start riding it. Sigma goes zero, says Doug. Thank you for answering my question about top tube length the other day. I'm going to buy a 20.75 night shift, and I'm excited to have a frame that fits me. Oh, dope, man. You're welcome. This is a fun question, Richard. Richard says that he's been riding 28.9 for a while, and he prefers it over 25.9. He's thinking about going to 39. Is anyone riding this gearing, and what do you think? I've never ridden 30. I've ridden 29 before, or 28.9, and I don't like how hard it is to pedal, but some people do. I've never ridden 39, but if anyone has, let Richard know your thoughts. Hello, Blicky. Blicky says, I need some frame help. I'm looking for something more snappy than the Leadum. It's a 20.75 with a 13.4 chainstay. I was looking at the Kink Williams N Royale and also a Sunday Street Sweeper. I think out of those, if I'm not wrong, the Street Sweeper is going to be the most responsive. I'm pretty sure. Let's look. I'll just pull it up on the screen if it comes up. Okay. The Street Sweeper. So 12.7 to 13. So on the center is like what, 12.85 or something like that. And it's 75 point. I thought this was a steeper head tube angle. That's why I was saying it was steeper, because I thought the head tube angle was steeper. So this is going to be quite a bit shorter than your Leadum frame. But the head tube's not as responsive as I thought it was. So what was the other option? Let's look at the Williams. Which color? Let's do honey brown. I like that. That's nice. It weighs quite a bit less. It's 12.75 slammed, which is the same as the Sunday, but the head tube angle is a quarter of a degree steeper. And the Royale, oh, that one's a new one. That's not it. It's a Kink Royale, right? Okay, maybe you're talking. I swear Kink came out with a new frame. Anyway, here's the Stranger Royale. If that's what you're looking at, I doubt it is because that's not very steep. I can't find the Kink Royale. Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay. And 12.5 slammed. Okay, well, that is your shortest chainstay. But I don't know that I'd go much steeper than the 12.75. Like you could, and a 76 degree head tube angle. That's insane. So this is going to be the most responsive for sure out of all of those. But Blicky, you've got to remember sometimes it comes to a point where it's counterproductive to be responsive. Like, I don't know your kind of riding, but I'll just tell you a story about me. I had the Colony Sweet Tooth that's on my old bike, and I rode that. It's a 13.2 chainstay, I think. And then I hurt my knee, and this guy gave me a frame. It was a total Killabee that had a 12.7 chainstay, right? And so I went from that 13.2 to the 12.7. And I love the 12.7 because spins were super easy. Double whips, super easy. There was a lot of tricks like that were incredibly easy. But I could not air a quarter to save my life. Like anytime I cranked at a quarter and pulled back, I just it felt so uncomfortable because it wasn't very stable. Doing tricks was really nice and easy, but getting air or going fast or going high, riding dirt jumps felt terrible. And so I'd definitely recommend to find a healthy balance. Now, if your riding is all about doing fly out tricks and doing tricks and stuff like that, then the short responsive thing's not going to be too bad for you, but it is good to balance it. And yeah. Julian, are you asking between the two bikes if I think the Sunday X Artega or the Forecaster Aaron Ross is better? The X is better hands down just because of the quality. It's got way better quality than the Forecaster. I don't think the Forecaster has any double wall rims. The X has one double wall rim. The Forecaster's tri-molly. The X is full chromoly. So yeah, the X is just much better bike quality wise. Enter the hate sphere. That's a fun name. Enter the hate sphere, or it could be enter the hat esphere. Enter the hat esphere. Anyway, he says his free coaster's gotten more slack over the years. My 15 to 20-year-old GT has no slack, if I remember correctly. Um, Most free coasters have a fair amount of slack. You can adjust them so that they don't have very much slack. But what people who ride street and free coasters a lot tend to do is almost maximize the slack, because when you're riding with very minimal slack, which is possible on a free coaster, it can engage. Um, it has to do with where your foot placement is when you land in fakie. And if you have a lot of slack, your foot placement won't, it's less likely to throw you off and engage the hub. So imagine you're going really fast and you have a lot of slack, right? So that's annoying. You have a lot of slack, but you're going to 180 down a 10 set. So you go at this 10 set, you do a 180, you land, and your free coaster free coasts like it's supposed to, and you fakie backwards. Okay. That's great. Now let's imagine same thing, but your free coaster doesn't have any slack. You go, you 180, you land, and your free coaster decides to engage and act like a cassette, but you're planning on landing like a free coaster. So when it does that, you land, you have all this speed, and the crank on the free coaster starts pedaling backwards. You're going to get bucked back on your head. And that's generally why people are going to run more slack in their free coaster, because it's just a safer option. It's less likely to engage. You're less likely to get hurt. Beckham says, does top or front load stem matter, or is that all just preference? I think they matter um, because it's a preference. It's generally top load stems are going to have a rise. So let's think about, this is the angle of your stem, and your bars go up here on the top load, right? So your bars are actually higher up than the bottom part of your stem, which adds some extra height to your bars and to your stack height. So everything feels taller. Where a front load stem, let's say this is the angle, and your bars go right here. So they're perfectly level with your stem. It doesn't actually add any height. That was the biggest thing for me when I put on a top load is my bars felt higher, and I really like that feeling. You can also go, I think the specs of the stem's more important than the way it looks. Like, unless it's the projector stem, that thing looks awful. But you've got your stem rise and you've got your stem length, and your length is going to be how far away your bars are from your headset. So when they're closer, bar spins are easier, but it's got a responsive steering. And when they're farther away, bar spins are harder, but it's got a more mellow steering. So there you go. Preference a little bit, but yeah, it matters because of the preference. Like, you've got to figure out what you want out of that stem and then go from there. Ice to Flock, how you doing, man? Okay, good question. Good question. We just saw this, and I wonder if I can find it on here. Because when he posted about it, I saw it. Let's see if it's out. It's out. Okay, yeah, let's look at it. There it is. This beautiful frame by Kevin Peraza. Kevin Peraza's signature mongoose frame. Let's look at it because it's just beautiful. Okay, maybe we can't actually look at it. I want a big, close picture. Anyway, Kevin designed his graphics. It seems very much like Tucson stuff. So you got some cactuses and all that. Oh, but now Kevin lives in San Diego. Anyway, so the specs I thought were kind of interesting because they're not too off the charts, or they're not too oddball. He's got a little bit of a steep head tube, 75.5 degrees, and it's only available in a 20.75-inch top tube. And the chain stays 13. So to me, that's super average, nothing crazy there. And it only weighs about 5 pounds. But yeah, I think it's weird they only have that one size option, because I would have bought one for sure. If it was a 21, would have bought it for sure. But I'm not going to do anything on a 20.75. And I love this hourglass head tube, or yeah, hourglass head tube. It's like the Colt ones. Looks nice. It's a very nice looking frame. It's going to be good. It's um, aftermarket frames like this are going to be like most other aftermarket frames. The quality shouldn't be questioned just because it's a mongoose. Like, this is a $350 frame. It's made with that quality. It's good. I think Kevin rides a Laird frame, like all of the Mongoose pros do. They ride custom Laird frames with Mongoose branding on it, but this isn't a Laird frame for sure. But it's not made like the cheap Walmart frames, Beautiful frame. Ephraim says, "Hey Douglas, how you been? I've been good. How about you?" Thomas is at the doctor's office. He's about to get consulted on wrist surgery for his ligaments. He's been missing the chats. Bro, Thomas, I saw your crash. Are you good? How that looked painful, dude. A handlebar to the chest is never fun. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. And good luck with the wrist surgery stuff. That sounds painful, but I believe in you. You'll be good. You will be good. Yeah, I knew who you were, Thomas. Either way. Noog, what's up, Noog? Noog is late. Noog, you used to be the first one in the chat. Now you're slacking, man. How's everything going in Germany? Hey, what's up, Raider Al? We got all the homies in here today. This is awesome. Um, David says the bearings throw me off. My question is, what size are they? Is it upgradable to sealed? And I don't think it is, because now I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am, because what a an American bottom bracket is a cup with a mid bearing in it. So let me try and bottom bracket size. I think I can pull this up. I saw a picture once with the different sizes. So what we're talking about here is we talked about the framed attack bike and how it has a unsealed bottom bracket. And so yeah, okay, here. This picture will be good. Maybe. How to bottom brackets. Okay. TBB bike. I'm going to pull it up on the screen and we'll talk about it for a minute. Oh my god, that scared the I have like a I'm gonna watch that back and see how dumb I look. I have like a mic on top of the camera and it wasn't screwed. It was just kind of setting there. And then like I look up for a second and I just see the mic go and I'm like, oh, I thought the whole camera was falling down. So I'm all anyway. Whew, what was I doing? Oh yeah. So we're talking about American bottom bracket and mid bottom brackets and stuff like that. The framed attack bike had an unsealed American, so you can get a sealed American actually. Yeah, you can. Okay, I lied. I lied. You can. It's but you've got to press it in. It's not as easy as the other bearings. It's kind of a pain. But let me tell you where my thought process was here. Is that so? This is an American right here, and it's the exact same as this mid, but it's pressed into this cup, and then this cup presses into the frame with the whole thing. So they're heavier, they're bigger, they're bulkier, and yeah, these are harder to do. And then you get the unsealed bearings, and that's what came with the framed bike. So you just need to get an American bottom bracket, which looks like this. They're a pain. They're not very handy, and the whole bottom bracket's bigger because of that, because this is a bigger unit, so it's going to be bigger, and that also adds more weight. Anyway. Thomas says he's been checking out 20-inch frames. He might want something smaller than a 22. Yes. Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. I just think 22s are way harder to do tricks on. They're way harder to do anything on. It's possible, but it's a lot harder. You've got a lot more wheels. You've got bigger wheelbase. And if you go with the 20-inch wheelbase and the 20-inch wheels, your frame could still be 21.5 even, which gets you really close to a 22-inch frame. But you just have the smaller wheels. It's easier to control. Faith says being a 5'7" dude riding on a 20.75-inch top tube is good or bad? Yeah, that's fine. That's about right. If you like, just Google Dougster Bob's size guide or any size guide, and you can see what size you should be riding. But there's usually uh, outliers there. Like, let's say you could still ride a 21-inch top tube, but it's going to feel really mellow and really stable. You could still ride a 20.5 at your size, but it's going to feel really snappy. And so riding the 20.75 puts you right in the middle of those two and gives you the best feeling. Blicky says that's another issue I have with my Letum right now already. So I figured I might have to go even lower with 160 millimeters, but I'm not sure if I want something that small. Blicky, if you're talking about your foot hitting your pegs, That's something that you generally just learn to adjust with while you ride. Sometimes it's worse, like with a really slam chainstay and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all about how you ride. You'll learn that when your pedals are coming up, you're on your foot on your pedal is not going to stay like this. You're going to tilt it down, and that causes your heel to miss it. So when you're pedaling up, your foot's more like this, and that causes you to miss the peg. You just have to change up the way that you're riding a little bit so that you don't hit your foot on your peg all the time. I never had that issue until now, with the now that I have four pegs on and I pedal. And it took me a little bit to get used to it, but you just change your foot a little bit, how you ride with your foot. Nuke says, "Why do you don't like eight spline cranks?" Well, they're just the lower quality option. With the eight splines, you've got the pinch bolt. They're generally a lot heavier, and they don't last as long. I guess the whole concept there is fine, but the spindles are really thick. They still break. They bend easily. Um, the pinch bolt system gives your cranks a lot of slack. That pinch bolt can come loose, and you've got wobbly crank. With the 48 spline system, everything's just really snug. It's a snug fit. It's light. There's less extra stuff. It's a cleaner look. Just overall, they're 100 times lighter, stronger, and better looking. Rob, Ohio. Rob, are you the guy that got hit by the car? We were just talking about a Rob. I don't think that's you. Anyway, Rob says, bike question. Question bike. I just want to lose weight. I ride around the neighborhood, but hit curbs, libs, and boom off hills. I'm 5'8, 265 with BMX racing background. What complete cruiser would hold? Hello? Um, I'm trying to find the rest of the question. I guess I'm not too sure what you're asking. I can guess. What complete cruiser? Hello, is there more? Where's the question? Anyway, um, Rob, I'm just gonna send you the recommendation because there's so much more to it. Now, being over 200 pounds, I would recommend that you get something full chromoly. Um, and that's really about it. With your height, I'd say being bigger, 5'8", get a 21. But I'm gonna put this in here. Just go fill out this form. Okay, you put in your height, so you're gonna put be. I don't know. I think it goes 5'6" to 5'9". So that's what you'd put. You put 5'6" to 5'9". Your budget. I don't know how much you want to spend on a bike. If you don't want to spend very much, that's fine because you're not. It doesn't sound like you're doing a whole lot of tricks. So you could go with a slightly lower quality bike, and what type of riding you like to do. You like to ride on the streets, right? Just fill all that out for me so I can send you a recommendation with 3 bikes. I just need a little more information to give you a good one. Because right off the bat, yeah, I don't know the budget, man. I don't know. You're not planning to do anything crazy on it, but then again, the weight, I'd say, quality. Um, have you looked at the Kink Whip XL? It might be a little too low quality. Like on the app, I say that the weight limit on there is about 190, just because things like the sprocket will bend and your bars could bend, things like that, even though it's a decent bike. When you add, like, dude, I weighed 210 and I've broken a ton of stuff, way more than my 160-pound friends. You know what I mean? So it's a thing. And I would say to step up in quality, but the Whip XL, if you don't want to spend a ton of money, would probably be the lowest I would go, the lowest quality I would go. And if you're okay with spending a little bit more, you could get something like the Williams, the Kink Williams. The Sabrosa Novus is quite a bit, but that's another good quality one with a 21-inch top tube. So Those are just a few. Jared, I saw you, Jared Crabtree, not Jared, Jared. I saw you say you want to show your bike. Guys, if you guys want to send me pictures of your bike, just send it to Douglas at dougsterbob.com. Douglas at dougsterbob.com. And I'd love to see it. Here, I'll type it in here right now. I can even pull them up on the live. No, I can't. I don't know how to do it. But email me your bikes. I'll figure out how to do it soon. I just need to update something when I'm not on the live because I have to restart Chrome. It's a headache. Don't stress me out. But yeah, send me pictures of your bike. Guys, there's a million comments. Lucky, what the hell? Bro, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. I just saw this, but wow, dude, I really appreciate this. $75. Thank you, Lucky. Let me read your comment too. That means a lot, man. I got skipped all the way to the bottom and I'm scrolling back up and I'm all, what the hell? I seriously love what you do for BMX. You desire to teach and still be a student is what being a pro is all about. My idea anyway. I'm considerably older, so I have people to compare you to. Aloha. Thank you, Lucky. I really, really appreciate that, man. You guys are too nice. Too nice. I can't. All right. Just that channel says, hey, Doug, yesterday I was able to go out for the first ride of the season because we finally got some good weather up here. I learned how to manual after like 30 minutes, which is pretty epic. Just that channel, I remember you've been in here for quite a while and you haven't been able to ride because of the weather. So one, good job riding, but extra good job on the manuals. Guys, type it in here with me. Good job on manuals. Because manuals are hard. They took me forever to learn, like way, 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 way long. And now I'm doing that same battle with nose manuals. So good job, just that channel. Very good job, man. Hey, Lucky, send me an email because I want to send you some shirts or send you a shirt. Like I just started printing these. Let me send you a shirt, man, or something. Let me send you something. Hey, did I see Paul Z Paul in here? What's up, Paul? Paul might be one of the oldest guys in the live, and he's still shredding. So you guys don't have an excuse. Paul, it's always good to have you on the live, man. He likes the free coaster because it's quiet and you can scare people coming up. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's one thing that was a big change for me because I had the Profile Mini cassette before, and it's not as loud as the Elite, but it's one of the louder ones. And now with this, there's no noise at all. So you can hear my bike. If my bike sounds like it's falling apart, you hear everything. Hey, what's up, Stuart? Glad you made it over here, Stuart. All right, guys, I'm just reading through the comments, trying to get caught up here. Devin says, anybody know a good first upgrade on the Gap Free Coaster? I think I'm going to get that bike. Devin, I think you should, the cheapest, most efficient upgrades, usually tires. You can get tires that save quite a bit of weight over the stock ones, and they'll feel better. So I'd say tires are usually the best upgrade early on. Nuke says for planetary free coasters, Alienation Venus or BSD Revolution. Honestly, I'm going to say they're about the same. I think they're all licensing the same technology from Freenite, who was the first one to develop this, to develop the planetary in a BMX hub. I'm pretty sure everyone's licensing that from them. And I'd say it's pretty much the same technology. The only differences are the designs of the hub shell. Like the Venus looks, I think it looks funky with the squared off hub, but some people like it. And yeah, so uh, then again, though, the Revolution has snap-on hub guards, and that's one thing that's really cool. A little useless if you don't grind, but it's really cool that you get the hub guards and they just snap on. It's really nice. I don't know if the Venus has that or not. David had to go back to work. David, have a good one, man. Thank you for hanging out with me. Ryan, Stuart, were you here to answer Ryan's question? Ryan says, "What's up, riders? Mechanic question. The internal spacer between the bearings, I partially deformed it, getting the bearings out. One side slides easy over the spindle, but the other side does not. Throw it in the trash. Just toss it." When I first built up this bike, I put my bearings on and I forgot to put that spacer. I never put the spacer in, even though you should. All it does though is it relieves the pressure on the middle of the bottom bracket. So I'm trying to see if I have a bottom bracket. Pretend this is a bottom bracket. And when you tighten it down, there inside of your bottom bracket on the frame, there's a lip, right? And that holds the bearings from going in farther. Otherwise, they'd slide all the way to the middle. So that lip holds them. But that lip's only about, can you even see this? Like on this part of it, right? So when you tighten down your cranks, the lip's holding it out here. And so all that pressure is going through the middle. And that stretches in the middle of your bearings, and it could cause them to wear out a lot sooner. So that middle thing just kind of keeps the pressure in between them so that that doesn't happen. I don't know. Some bottom brackets are wider, some are more narrow, and they don't always fit right. So I just toss them, and I've never really had an issue with it. But if it's really important to you, throw one in there. But if you don't, you're going to be fine. It's not the end of the world. But I'm also pretty ghetto with how I work on my bike. Like sometimes if my handlebars slip forward, I'll just turn my bike upside down and beat it on the ground until the handlebars move back. So maybe don't take my advice. I'm pretty ghetto when I work on my bike, but it's with love, you know? Guys, we're already at an hour. That was quick. Okay, I'm just reading through, guys, looking for some last minute questions. I think there's a lot of questions to get to here, though. Um, this might be a super long live. I don't know. I don't know how long I should stay on this live, but I'm gonna answer some questions still. I'm just scrolling through. Okay. How do you change your name? Question mark says, what do you think of bar height? I know a lot of people ride taller bars because it feels easier to pull, but I found after riding shorter bars that a lot of tricks feel better with them. So my thought on the on bars is kind of different, I think, from most people. The bars I had before these were 8.9 rise, which to me was pretty tall, but in the grand scheme of things, with people riding 10s and 11s, that's pretty small. I've always rode 8.5 to 8.9 inch bars, and to me, it's not. It definitely makes tricks easier. I completely agree. Anytime I think I had some S&M Hoder bars that were like 9.5 at one point, and you'd pull up, but the bike would just whoop. It just loops so quick, and I couldn't do it, and I never got used to it. So I went back down to 8.9, and now I'm riding. These are 9.25, so they are bigger. And to be honest, I don't hate it, but I also don't really love it. Like it's been really weird figuring out my timing with the bar spin, because where my bars are when I hop is now like higher up than it used to be. So it feels really uncomfortable to throw it at the timing that I'm used to. And so it's been a battle, honestly, with hop bars. I had to just hop and not throw like 25 times a couple days ago to do it. So, in conclusion, I'm more of a smaller bar kind of guy. Not super small, not like 7.5, but not tens, not 11s. And it is a preference thing, though. You guys will get used to whatever you ride if you stick with it long enough. But yeah, for me, I do agree with you how to change that name. The shorter bars feel better for tricks, and the taller bars feel a little bit too crazy. Stuart rides 9.5. Yeah, that is so big. Jared rides 9.25. Same. BNR says, are the brake mounts not removable on that frame? On Kevin's frame? I don't know. Let's look. Let's look. Yeah, because it looks kind of funny with the brake mounts on there. I agree. Hmm. Removable brake hardware. Yeah, yeah, they're removable. Well, it says hardware. I don't know about the brake mounts or not. It also says on here on this frame that the it has internal and external gussets, and I think that's cool. Noog is not having a good. Noog, come over here to the US, man. It's a good time over here. He says that it's shit over here, stupid government and shit weather. He just got snow too. That's sad. Ryan says all the new Scotty Kramer videos are from the Texas trip are from parks around his area, and they were riding by his house. He totally missed them. Damn, that's sad. Was it who was the kid here? So way back last year in the lives we had God, if I think of his name, it'll really impress me. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, one of the kids, he was always in here. He got to ride with Scotty Kramer and Maddie and them. They were at his park randomly, and he did a gap for their video, and he was so hyped. That could have been you, Ryan, but you missed out. I think a lot of times I've noticed when there's pros in, say, El Paso, because we have like these cool ditches that people like to stop by, they don't post about it until they've already left. Because I think if they do post about it while they're there, they get swarmed, and it's really hard to film stuff when you got people, you know, a bunch of people show up to ride with you and to meet you and hang out with you. And um, anyway, it's so chances are you won't know about it until afterwards unless you're at the park when they're there or you show up when they're there. You know what I mean? Like that's just a general thing. So don't feel bad like you weren't on top of it, that probably nobody really knew they were there until till now. I love you're like to me one of the coolest things is when you guys ask each other questions and they're not even directed at me. So then I can just read through the comments and I don't have to talk. It's a lot of fun. So you guys are all going back and forth with Faith, trying to help Faith find the um, right bike size, and I love that. This is a great community we have here, guys. It's great. Tyne Talas V2 says, "Hi guys, I just want to know which brand should I go, DK or Kink? So assuming that you want to do freestyle, I'd say go with Kink. DK has some stuff and they're okay, but Kink is much better. Now, if you want to go with racing, go with DK for sure. But if you want to go with freestyle, go with Kink. That's my opinion. Kanyen's that guy. What was your name before? The profile picture looks familiar, but it was a different username if I remember. Anyway, which bike? 800 Canadian. Let's go to. Let's see what Anthony has at Harvester. Harvester BMX. Yeah, it's hard for me. Like your Canadian budget doesn't. I say it doesn't mean anything to me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But what I mean is that I just don't know what 800 Canadian like equates to in in American dollars. But let's look here. What can you get from Harvester Bikes for $800? Now you could order from Dan's too. You just might have to pay shipping's extra and maybe import taxes. I don't know. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, see, it's weird to me because like King Curb's 534 Canadian, which is King Curb's like four something American dollars. So I don't know what you get for 800. But I think I saw Anthony had a couple of the new We the People bikes in. Don't buy this. Do not buy this. Don't buy this. The Division makes decent bikes. I don't think this one's a great one, but they have another. What's the other one? Division. Don't buy this. We the People Curse. What is that? That's a new one. This is the CRS. Oh, I think it's got. I think it got auto corrected. This is the CRS. Anyway, I just did a video review on the CRS. $800. Honestly, I'd probably go with the Emerge. This is one of those times where. So this is like a $700 US bike, and it's only an $800 Canadian bike. Like the gap there isn't too bad, but like the gaps we're seeing with the CRS being close to $800 Canadian, and that's like a 400 something US dollar one. You know what I mean? Like the gap is just so much bigger there. But what did I just say? The Emerge is pretty decent for the price here, and the Control 819, that would be a good one if you're you're 5'11", you should have a 21. So anyway, get a 21 with decent quality. Justice. Yeah, now we're going way over budget. If you can, the Reason or the Cult Devotion, these are way over budget. I mean, yeah, they're pretty over budget for you, but I'd say go with something like this. You know, this is full chromoly double wall rims. Again, little over budget, but good bike. Anyway, glad you're done with your therapy. That's sick. Okay, guys, if I missed your questions, just throw them in right now. Throw any last minute questions you have, and I'll run through them real fast because there are a ton. So yeah, just throw them in. If you guys have any last minute ones, throw them in there. I'll answer them, and then you guys are gonna go and learn lots of tricks this weekend. Okay. Garrett's a little guy. Yeah, Faith. Look, I would argue like it's all about the kind of riding. So Garrett does really responsive, really technical street riding, and so he's going to need that frame, which that's the correct size for him. Okay, that's the correct size for him. But for him to say ride a 21 inch, it's going to make his riding, it's going to be harder for him to be technical with it. You know what I mean? So here, look, just Faith, you're Faith, you're overthinking this. Don't overthink it, okay? Just don't overthink it. It's okay. Here we go. Let's just click on your size, okay? What how tall is you? You said 5'9"? Are you 5'9"? I can't remember. Someone remind me how tall Faith is. Anyway, Faith, just go here, okay? It's super easy. Super easy. Just go here. Here we go. Click that button. Quit overthinking it. And then click your size. So 5'6" to 5'9". You need a 20-inch bike. That's the wheel size. You need a bike with 20-inch wheels, which is pretty much anything. You don't want to get an 18-inch bike. You don't want to get a 22-inch bike. You don't want to get a 26-inch bike. You want a 20-inch bike with a top tube either between 20.5 to 20.75, okay? And so now if you're this size, between this size, and you get a 20.5 top tube, it's going to make the bike feel easy to maneuver. It'll be very responsive and snappy. And then you can go and look at 20.5 inch bikes, okay? But a 20.5 top tube will balance stability and responsiveness. So the 20.5 would be the correct size for you in this height area, right? Oh, and you're saying Garrett Reynolds is this height. Anyway, so Garrett's riding a little bit taller of a top tube. 20.75 will give you a bike that feels really good when going high and fast, and a bigger size is best for flowy park and dirt riders. So you're going a step outside of that 20.5 to get a more stable feeling bike. Here, 5'9" to 5'6", which Jared is 5'10", so he's closer to this end, and he's riding a 21. So he can still ride a 21. It's just going to feel a little bit bigger than the 20.75, and it's going to in turn change up your the way you ride, right? So Garrett's also riding a short back end, and that brings your wheelbase closer together, a snappy head tube angle. You know, there's a bunch of different things like that that can that tweak the way the bike feels. But anyway, just go there, click on it, and pick one of the sizes that it tells you. Stuart says 1 more hour. My camera says it's going to overheat. It's blinking the overheat, but this thing's a hunk of junk. I spent way too much money on it to overheat, but it's also kind of hot here. Let's see. I mean, it's not too hot in here, but hey, I just saw somebody order a shirt. Thank you. I'm going to go. You the dope, man. Thank you. I will. So guys, I make these shirts now. So now I go print them out, and I gotta make them. It's so much fun. But Jeremy, thank you, Jeremy. Anyway, what was I doing? Okay. Why am I still got this up on the screen? Oh, I was talking about my camera overheating. Yeah, Nick and I were filming, and it overheated, and it was pretty depressing. Lewis says, what do you think about Stranger? Stranger aftermarket parts, good. Stranger complete bikes, bad. It's pretty much that simple. I'd say that I just think they take advantage of people on their complete bikes. Their aftermarket parts are fine, but their complete bikes are low quality and way overpriced. Lucky, are you a mechanical engineer? From falling in a longitudinal matter, moving side to side weakens the walls of the bearings. Okay, yeah. So, Ryan, if you're not ghetto like me, definitely replace it. Okay, Jared, I'm going to check the email right now. Jared, I love this. Let's see if I can pull it up on hold on. We're going to get this figured out. Give me 1 sec. Because guys, we're going to show off Jared's bike. Oh, dope. So these are dogs, cute dogs. We got a picture of dogs. This looks sick, man. This looks really sick. Okay. So I'm going to share a couple of these on the screen. All right. All right. This is Jared's bike, everyone. Are you ready for this? If you want to send me your bike, just send it. All right, here we go. First picture of the bike. Beautiful. We got the camo tires. I like it. I like it. Nice chain, sprocket, bash guard. Okay, but here's my favorite picture. It's a dog. Oh, cute. So cute. Um, okay, but here's one for real. This is Jared's dog. Um, this looks really good, man. I love the front brakes. What do you think about those Vans grips, though? I've ridden them for quite a while, like before, and I didn't hate them, but they weren't as comfortable as I thought they would be. Like it's a weird thing because they're not uncomfortable, but they're just like I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes it's hard to take my hands off of the comfortable grips I have, and these didn't have that, but then they weren't uncomfortable, but they weren't super comfortable. Do you know what I'm trying to say right now? And then this last picture. So 4 pegs on this machine. What do you guys think about it? Give it a rate 1 through 10. 1 through 10. What kind of valve? Grenade valve sims, dope. F25s because we got the front brakes on here, the front brake forks. Dope, dude. Thank you for sharing, man. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna run through before my camera overheats and catch these last minute questions. Lika, this isn't a question, but Lika says, to everyone upgrading bars, care about your up and back sweep. Don't do it like me and destroy your wrist because of this. Had to take over a 1 month break. Lika, what happened? What kind of bars did you get, or up sweep, back sweep? Like what happened? Dirt Racer, how you doing, man? He says he used to inline in the 90s back in the Senate days. It was good fun. Cool to see that that's still around. Yeah, Jared's gotten back into it, and then Jared picked up BMX as a new hobby that he never used to do. So it's cool to have people doing both. I could never. But Jared, what you need to do, man, you need to get really good at skating so that you could follow me and film, because I feel like the best filmers would be rollerbladers. On a skateboard, it's a little bit hard. You can't hop up things as easily. You can't turn as easily to film. But on blades, you've got perfect filming capability. So if you could rip around behind me, A plus filmer, you're hired. Jacob says thoughts on the new Fit Completes. Jacob, I'm going to be running through and reviewing them right now. I'm doing the We the People 2023 line, but I don't know if I should do Fit or Sabrosa after that. I'll get to the Fit ones. I don't I don't love them. Like I don't hate them, but generally there's nothing in there that's great quality. The only bikes out of there that I'd recommend to people on the free bike recommendation is the Fit Park, extra small for a short rider who needs a 20.00, and I'll recommend the Fit Trail for someone if they have a low budget but they want a dirt specific bike. And really that's it. Those are the only two bikes out of their whole line that I recommend to people, and they're overpriced. I think they're overpriced, all of them. They in 2019 they had better quality bikes. They had like the Sleeper, they had the Scumbag, and they were more signature bikes where they actually had double wall rims and full chromoly. Now most of them are just tri-moly with the Trail has one double wall rim, but that's the only bike with a double wall rim. It's like, Fit, what are you doing? Why are these bikes so cheap? Why are they so cheap, Fit? But that's my thoughts on it. I haven't taken a solid look, but they're pretty much the same as last year or as 2021. They skipped 2022 also. Beckham says, any tips for hopping into a foot jam? I can't get myself to hop into it. I usually have my foot off before I go to do a foot jam. Yeah, Beckham, you've got to compress your body first. So a lot of people, they're standing straight up and then they just try and put their foot in there, and that's not going to work. You've got to get down, you've got to compress your body and then throw your chest forward so that your weight's going forward and it starts to lift your back wheel up before you've even put your foot in. So you're compressed, you throw your weight forward, and then you put your foot in the tire, and that weight transfer carries the bike up into the foot jam. So you got to practice that without your foot off first. Like doing it with your foot off and then putting it in gets you to find the balance point of the foot jam. But in the real world utility of it, that's not going to be very helpful. When you go to learn foot jams on a quarter, you can't have your foot off first. You have to hop into it. You know what I mean? So it's best to struggle with hopping into it a little bit, but that's how you do it. Trail Woman says Mission double wall pinned rims question mark decent. Oh wait, Mission double wall pinned rims decent question mark upgrading wheels with single wall rims. So yeah, any double wall rim, even if they're Mission pinned, they're going to be better than the single wall that you're upgrading. The the pin debate is something I've never had an issue with. Like I've said many times, the rims I was riding before were Sun Rhino Light rims, and they're double wall rimmed pin. They're this thin. They're not even thick rims. The holes are really close together, but I've never had an issue with them. So they're great. They're pin double wall. Never had it one time I blew the wheel out. That was my fault because I landed 90 and all that weight went to the back wheel. I had like 4 missing spokes. So the weight, it wasn't picked up by anything and it blew out the rim. But for the most part, never had an issue. Now, it's funny though, because I had these stolen rims that were really nice. They're thick rims. They're great. They were pretty low priced, and I'd say that's going to be the same with the Mission. And what happened with them is the nipples ripped right out of the spoke. So the nipple holes on the rim they're blown out like this for like 4 or 5 spokes. And that's just an odd thing that happened with that low quality stolen rim. But anyway, pinned, never had an issue with pinned rims at all. As far as the pin coming undone, these rims, the Fly Luna rims, are welded, so I'll see if there's a difference. But honestly, I don't think the pinned versus welded matters that much. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't go hard enough. Maybe if I was doing bigger drops, I'd notice, but never had an issue. Cupid's Hater says, "What is your opinion on extending your bike brake line for handlebar spins versus buying gyro kits?" It's again, I think that's one of the preference things. Gyro is going to add some extra weight because there's those plates and stuff like that go on there. Your cables split, so the cables are a little heavier there with the dual cable where they split into the the plates. But it's going to look a lot cleaner with the gyro. It'll look better than a long straight cable. I'd be kind of iffy of a long straight cable anyway. Like I don't know. What if it's long enough it wraps around the other side of your handlebar or something? I don't know. I, I'm sure people do it, and you can. You'd still have to unspin, So every regular bar spin you got to do an opposite bar spin to unspin it so you can spin again. And most people can't do that. So I don't know. It's all preference, though. I'd totally say it's a preference thing. I took off my brakes probably when I was 14. So after maybe a year of riding, what I noticed is that I'd ride, and anytime I was going to do a trick, I pulled my brakes. Why? I don't know. I just pulled my brakes. And it's kind of silly. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take them off. Then I can't pull my brakes anymore. So I did that, and I haven't had brakes since. So I'm not a very good person to ask about brakes. In conclusion, Eddie says, "Hey, Doug, I was able to find the kink whip at my local shop, and I finally picked one up. Having fun practicing hope." Good. I got some deco pegs, and I need hub guards now. Eddie, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you found a whip in stock because they've been kind of, even recently, they got a whole bunch in stock, like Dan's Comp, for example, and then they were out for a little bit. So it's good you were able to get one. And I'm glad you like it, man. Good luck. Eddie, I hope to see you next week with a new trick. So practice a trick this weekend and come back and tell me next week what you learned. Yes, sir, Beckham. Enjoy your work. Work hard. Always do more than you're paid for. And have a good rest of your day, man. Owen says, "Hey, Doug, do you have a TikTok or am I following a goofball pretending to be you?" It's probably me. I don't have very many on my TikTok. So I started TikTok probably in 2020. Let's see, Owen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. I hope I'm the only Dougster Bob. I've got 19 followers, but I had 33,000. It was like my biggest social media, and I deleted it because I was just on it too much, and I could have not deleted it, I guess, but I don't know. I just like I'm gonna delete it, and it was pretty easy to grow that far, so I was like I could do it again, but I don't want the the problem I'm having is how to like with social media that you're on two sides, right? You're either creating content or you're consuming content. And it's so hard to stay on the creating side and not the consuming side. I feel like if I get too much on the consuming side, I'm losing because I'm not like one, I'm not getting anything out of it. And two, I'm not putting my content out there. And that's what I was doing with TikTok. Like I'd get on TikTok to post or to reply to a comment. And then I'd be scrolling on there for 45 minutes. And I'm like, this has to go. It like gotta go. So I deleted pretty much everything except YouTube for like 2 or 3 months to just take a break, redo my habits, and then I started the TikTok again. But most of the posts are scheduled posts from live clips, and I need to have that going more. And I also need to post the same stuff I post on Instagram as a reel. But in conclusion, it's probably me, Owen. Just give me a year and it'll be bigger again. I'm not focusing on it right now because even if you're monetized on TikTok, like you don't make very much money. And I think where for me my business model is more to sell bikes, which is pretty hard to do through TikTok. TikTok's pretty low on the priority list for me, especially when I spend 45. You guys ever been on TikTok so long that guy pops up? He says, "Hey, you've been scrolling way too long. Why don't you take a break?" And, and that happens to me. It's very bad. It's so bad, so bad. Ryan says, "How do I jump a spine for the first time without death?" Make sure it's a small spine. I think about the first time I jumped a spine, it was in Alamogordo. It was probably only a 4 foot spine. And I jumped it to flat because I had no idea how to hit a spine. I just went at it. I was like, whoop. And it was a big deal for me. I was like, I'm going to hit this spine. And I was really scared to do it because I had no idea what to do. It's such a unique thing. You know, the way you hit a spine is very, very, very unique compared to how you hit anything else. And it's something I don't think you'll ever do right first time. I don't think you'll ever do it right first time. So you've got to find something small enough that you can hit wrong and still survive. And then that'll break the ice for you so that you're confident enough to hit it multiple times and play with different techniques because you'll have to, yeah, like I saw, was it Lika in here? Lika said that like a transition from left to right or right to left. So you exactly that. You go up it and you carve it. I carve it to the right, but I spin to the left. And I wish I would have learned to carve the spine the opposite way because bar spins would have been easier because that's the way I spit. But it doesn't really matter. You start at one side and you carve the spine and pop up with it, and then down into the back of the transition. Did you see in the bike school members group, Ryan? Was it Chuck that was doing it? Who's doing it? They're working on getting it higher. And I imagine you'll be at the same spot, but I do definitely recommend to go on a smaller spine first so that you can hit it wrong and still be confident enough. Hey, Doug Bobby, I got a question for you. Flat Earth or Spear Earth? Let me see if there's any other questions because this will be a good one to go out on because I want to ask you guys what you think too. Yeah, Stuart, I like this idea. He thinks that I should put a poll and see what we vote for in terms of making a video, and explain the broadness of answer and have a detailed questionnaire. That could be fun. All right, Andy Plex, throw in your question. Victor, you got here. I'm about to end it, Victor. But how's it going, Victor? How's your time at Woodward? Victor was doing backflips in the airbag, guys. Backflips. I said, Victor, this is ready for Resi. And he said, nah. But it was good, Victor. That was really good. Okay. Indyplex wants to learn fly out 180s, but I can't get over the fear. I can do 180s on ramps, like up and down, but not while flying out. I mean, Indyplex, have you looked at bike school yet? Check it out, see if it's right for you, because it's so hard to tell you what you're doing wrong without seeing it, because everyone has a different issue. So like some people aren't carving when they 180. Some people aren't turning their heads. Some people aren't sucking their knees up. Some people are sucking their knees up at the wrong time. Like there's a million different things that could be going wrong with that. And so without seeing a video of it and being able to point it out, it's impossible. And like I was saying with Victor posting his backflips in the members group, we have a Facebook group where you can post your attempts and then I can give you feedback based on that, along with the how-to videos that you get access to. So I'd really like look into that, because I have no idea where you're at with it. I have no idea what your issue is with the 180. No idea. Yeah, no idea. And I'd say if there was a real common mistake that most people have with it, I would go over it. But it really is so different for everybody. Um, okay. Where is will you make hold on, here's a good question. Where you go? Hold on, I gotta find this question real quick. Jacob says, will you make more detailed videos on BMX specs? And probably not. Like I did some and I wanted to get more in depth with them, but Jacob, what I did instead is I just made a really big comprehensive ebook. And it's the best deal is to go with this power pack, because you get like, so in the big book of BMX specs, you get the sections that go really in depth on specs, but also exclusive videos with them. So I have videos that go about specs in depth, that it's only accessible to people who bought the ebook. And people have been buying this power pack because it includes all of the ebooks and it includes exclusive videos. So that is why I probably won't do more in depth, because I've already done it here. And if I did it on YouTube, like the people who bought the power pack or bought the book of BMX specs, it wouldn't be fair to them. You know what I mean? So yeah. Indyplex is going to check out Bike School. Here, I'm going to send the link if you can't find it. But yeah, check it out. See if it's right for you. It's not right for everybody. I love all the members we have in there because they're pretty serious about it and they put in the work. And so that's kind of really the only people I want in Bike School. But check it out. It might be right for you. Okay, guys. Last question here, and then we're out of here. The flat Earth question. Flat Earth question. Where is the question? Oh, okay. So you guys tell me in the comments, okay, is the Earth flat or is it a sphere? But you got to explain it. Why or why not? Because here's my answer. I think I'd say it's almost an irrelevant question. It's one of those things that that you don't know until you know. Um, now, I'm not saying I highly doubt the Earth's flat. Like, we're going to start with that. But I've never seen it. So, like, I genuinely can't say either way. It's same thing with religion. People who really believe in a certain religion, you can't tell them they're wrong because they genuinely believe that. And people who don't, you can't tell them they're wrong because they genuinely don't believe that. Like, it's just one of those things that you believe what you believe, and in the end, you're right. Either way, you're right. Okay, so flat earthers, they're going to die thinking the Earth's flat. Nothing's going to change, so let them think that. And round earthers are going to die thinking the Earth's round. It's just one of those things. So so I say, in a big context, everyone's right whatever they think on those things. Now, certain things, there are true hard facts, like this can is white, blue, and red, right? Like, that's a irrefutable fact. I can see it. I know damn well it's this. The Earth, I've never seen it. I don't know. Now astronauts, assuming that we've been to the moon, if that's true, they've seen the Earth in a sphere form, and so they know fact that it's there. But does that make any sense? That's kind of my answer. I think the Earth's round, but yeah, that's fun to talk about. It's a cube. Oh, I did see a thing though. Did you guys see that post that was like, flight from Los Angeles to Hawaii makes an emergency stop in Seattle, and on the globe scale, Seattle's way up here and way off track, but on a flat Earth scale, it lines up perfectly with it. So, like, if the Earth in a flat from New York to Hawaii, Seattle's right in the middle, but on a globe scale, Seattle's up a little bit higher. So they're saying flat Earth confirmed. I don't know. It's kind of funny. All right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. Big shout out to Jared and Lucky for being members of the channel. Lucky, I really appreciate the money you donated today. That means a lot. And buying the shirts for Jeremy, buying the shirts. Guys, I'm going to post more links about the shirts because I bought the setup to do these on my own and print them and send them out to you guys. So, but I'll post about it a little bit more. Not yet. If you want to, my shop is shop.dougsterbob.com, and you can find them there, but I'm not going to promote it too much. But you guys have a good weekend, and thanks for